great. Does anybody want to volunteer and tell me something about what you guys did? Anybody? Yeah?
So I was actually head of a council. It was called Outreach and Environment Council. So it was into social work. I'm from India, by the way. So we actually took a trip where there's a river called the Yamuna River in India. It's a sacred river. So we took an entire trip and we saw the river slowly getting polluted as it reached the cities. We found that one of the most polluting things, I'd say, within the river was polythene bags. So to cut a long story short, we got financing from the Indian government to start production of cloth bags and distribute it among schools in Delhi, and which was further distributed in local stores by students in the school.
Okay. So you got money from the government. We don't get money from the government. I did that over the summer. That was for a company, but SoBE we get money from different sources, which I'll explain to you guys. So let's start off by telling you guys exactly what we do and why we do what we do as a SoBE finance division. By the way, as any other volunteer, when you hear the word finance, what's the first thing you think about? Money, right? Well, we are in the business, right? But the point is, we directly have this connection between finance and money, and there's a reason why we have that connection, because money is at the heart of a lot of the stuff that we do. Some may ask, we need money to make accounting, we need money to do research and development, it's called R&D, we need money to buy assets, we need money to create a lot of the stuff that we do. Without money, we could not have gotten the room for 42 BC. Without money, we could not have done the marketing that we did. Without money, there's a lot of stuff that we can't do. Of course, there are also those of us like me who just like money. But second to that. Okay. So we need money in order to run as an organization. But money does not fall from trees, right? We have to get it from sources. The university, corporate places, the government. Maybe you can contact the Indian government for us. But I can't do that. So how do we do it? How did you do it?
So there's an environment wing within the government. I contacted them, presented my idea to them. Thankfully, it was, they agreed. So they gave us a certain amount of money, which was, we had to again negotiate with a factory for us to produce the bags.
Yeah, negotiate is something that you definitely have to do. At UFM, there's no administration smiley face that we just talk to them and they can support us. We have to go to individual organizations and specific companies to search for those money. And a recent event that I just did is I went to the Center for Entrepreneurship. Maybe some of you have heard that, and I got $1,000 from Doug Neal, one of the leaders there, to work on a project. But and there are certain tactics and techniques that you all learn if you want to do finance, which I'll explain soon. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Chen, and I'm a sophomore. I'm doing industrial and operations engineering with business. I was doing EE, and then I broke Anthony's heart and did IOE instead, which I think is the right choice. But in any case, so how do we do it here at SoBE? Well, we actually split it up into two sources. There's an internal source of revenue and there's an external source of revenue. Internally, we have a much more personal connection with different organizations like the Center for Entrepreneurship, Empower, and all sorts of different other clubs that can provide money to clubs like us in order for us to fund our ventures. At the same time, we produce partnership. And last year during 42 BC, we partnered with Empowered to get members here. I was actually originally from Empowered to get members here to work on the same goals. And from that perspective, money is actually not the biggest thing that we want because, frankly speaking, those organizations cannot produce huge sums of money for us. But they can produce partnership, which can create fantastic opportunities, get people to come to our organization, get people to come to our individual events, and sometimes from a monetary perspective, and from a financial perspective, and from an investing perspective, that's actually worth more than the raw money by itself. But on the other side of money, we have a much more external source, right? And we mentioned Pepsi, we mentioned SoBE, which we really want to get this year, and we mentioned all those other companies. Now, you might think, why as a company would they give us money? Well, that's the whole point of financing. That's the whole point of talking to them, showing them what we do, and making them believe in our vision in order for them to supply us with capital. But the way that we approach them is completely different. I'm sure this is also very different from your government experience. But we're much more professional to them. we have previous individuals sign testimonies, create testimonies, and to show them that we have produced significant results and that it is worth their time and money to give us and to help us fund. At the same time, we also consult with them to ask exactly what their needs are as a company and how we can help their image in our organization. And we have very, very standardized sets of rules, and we definitely differentiate from all the other organizations because trust me, if we're asking for Pepsi for money, you think all the other organizations are? Yeah, they are. Those companies know we want money, so you have to differentiate in order to survive, and that is something that you will learn as you are working on finance, which is actually very, very in view with money. But money is a key word, and this year we're going to focus a lot on the external resources because that is where it is really at. All right. So now that you have an idea about how we do it, right? Why we do it? We need money in order to operate. How we do it? We have internal, external resources. But now, what do we create? All right. So what we have created is that we have created specific sets of rules of how we approach these companies and these external and internal clubs. When you decide to work with us on the financing side, you'll be doing all sorts of stuff in the capitalized words that I've listed here. You'll create standardized reports to show to these companies. You'll create endorsement packages in order for them to understand exactly what level of funding is required for them to attain the results that they want, right? And to help us attain the similar results that you want. And at the same time, you'll do a lot of data compiling because money itself is a form of data, and you have to compile your own data to show them that with this many viewers, with this many direct viewers, with this many people interested in Pepsi, with this many people interested in drinks, with this drinks that we put on at 42BC, you as a company should give us money, right? So financing is a huge thing that has all sorts of different fields, all sorts of different activities, but it's very, very big, and currently there's not that many people working on it, so if you're interested in it, definitely consider. And this year, we want to make it to the 10,000 level goal. Last year, we got $5,000, but this year, like I said before, we want to get more external resources to make that 10,000 goal. If you want to be part of that, definitely think about it. So, all this stuff, think about where you are and what you want to do. And if you think that financing is right for you and SoBE fits your vision, definitely come afterwards and talk to me. And we can also discuss about whatever other things you like, including how this cool presentation was made. All right, well, thanks.